Alright everyone, BITRESURRECTOR is something really cool and we're going to check out what this is. Now, before we get into it, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research, due diligence, and don't invest in anything you're not willing to lose. So this is a software. It's designed to find abandoned Bitcoin assets. How? It creates keys and then it checks for them, balances and stuff like that. So that Bitcoin asset that you can't find, that somebody threw away, that is gone, who knows where it went, we're going to try and help find it. Now, how does it do that? You can see a lot of cool technical stuff here. It looks at the Bitcoin addresses, looks at the ones that are gone, and people are like, how are you finding all these, Bitcoin assets and things like that? We're doing it with BITRESURRECTOR. So, there's a lot of Bitcoin out there. There's a lot of Bitcoin in the blockchain. We can find it, because it shouldn't just be sitting out there in cyberspace, right? Satoshi wouldn't like that. And this uses something called a Bloom filter, which is a real-time match. So it's generating addresses against a global database, and all these addresses have a positive balance. So you're not just searching for something, it's nothing. And we can see here why this is so good. Individual and financial incentives, accessibility, and let's face it, who doesn't want to see where the Bitcoin's at? Because you've all heard that story of the guy throwing the Bitcoin, in some kind of like landfill, or the one guy who lost his thumb drive and is looking through the landfill. It has, tons of Bitcoin in it. Roughly 20% of total Bitcoin has actually remained stationary in early addresses. It's in what we call a digital necropolis. So we want to resurrect some. We're going to bring it back to life. Merlin, we can do it. So we're going to jump into the digital necropolis. Maybe not drink as many energy drinks, but you can if you want to. You'll probably be excited about that. So all we need is time, patience, and hardware power, just like we would with mining. Remember, the only one who loses the lottery is the one who doesn't participate. Now, Bitcoin's different from that, but we use the power of this hardware. So this does have mathematical statistic and probability behind it. So you know that what they're doing is going to work. And we can see the kernels, the information here. This is how it works. The monobit, the range, we can see the run. Then it looks for the bad keys and gives you the best output. And it gives you differential analysis of repetitive patterns and hexadecimal scalar. It also does metric evaluation of information entropy by Shannon of unpredictability. So this is really good. And it's utilizing the power of Claude Shannon's classical formula. So you can also see a lot of the math and probability behind it, which I think is very interesting. But I know what you're going to say. Let's check it out. Okay. So first, what we want to do is click download and click on direct download here. Now make sure you meet the system specifications. Very important, because we don't want to run your computer too high. So you need at least 4 gig of RAM, Intel AMD on any HDD, and we at least want Windows 10 or 11, and you want to have admin rights. So if you have all that, then basically what we're going to do, we're going to come here, we'll see the download here, and we're going to see here, it's going to say that, so we want more info, we're going to run it, boom. Now we're going to see a wizard on our computer. This you will not see, because this is specifically right here. So we can see next, install, boom. So and we're going to go ahead and install it. Now what I think is important here is you just let the installer run, and then we'll see the icon right here. So the icon looks like this. It's on my other monitor, as we can see, and we're going to go ahead and run it. So here we can see it, scan analysis. So we can adjust this based on how we want. So if you look at my screen now, here we can see all the information. This is pretty simple to see. We can see sound, turbo mode, disk logging, all that type of stuff, the GPU health, the AI software, and the telegram. So you can also see the engine data, and then we click Start Scanner. I know I gave you a lot of complicated math, but this is actually pretty simple, and look at what we are doing here. You're going to feel like, man, You're like Anakin Skywalker. You got all the cool technical stuff going, but this is really cool to see. And what you're going to want to do is just let this run. The only thing this takes is they've done all the hard work, the mathematical analysis, the probability analysis, the statistics. You just need to let this run. And the cool thing is they do have a Telegram here, so you can check that out as well. But it's basically going to run. It will take some PC power. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get what's detected, the wallets, and all the information. So with that, then what you can do is go on different scan sites, trace the wallets, come up with different ways, even find somebody who's good at, there are people who are specialized in this thing to find what's going on with these different addresses. It doesn't guarantee anything. Nothing guarantees anything. But the good thing is, hey, you can see the digital necropolis of Bitcoin, and who knows, maybe resurrect some. This could be your wake-up call to say, hey, I missed out on Bitcoin. Well, did you? Did you? Are you sure? And that's something to keep in mind. So we're just going ahead and scanning all this. I think this is a really, really unique idea. It's not just another, coin out there in space saying, yeah, it'd be cool to have this, or this might be interesting. So now we're just simply going to let this run. Then we'll start to see here, as you can see here, the balance is detected, what the balance is. So that's going to be the amount of BTC, the wallet, the physical wallets it's in, or the digital ones, the cold, and then the total amount detected. So I think that's going to be interesting to see. We can see right here the private keys. They all actually are in yellow. So this, you just follow this. See, the address is going to be in blue. You can see the system status and the blockchain verification is going to be in yellow. And you can see the private keys are going to be in green. And I think this is really cool. So I'm going to let this run. I would recommend, though, last thing I'm going to say about this, make sure your PC is well equipped to do this and you have some patience. Just like you did if you did something like mining before, if you're familiar with the concept, where you use GPUs to pull information, same kind of deal. So that is the demonstration. That is how you can get started, and this is a really, really amazing concept. I would love to know your opinion down below. So if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.